That's what would happen if a modern secular mind was at the time one of the advisors to the king. He'd say, no, there's no such thing as interpretation of this stuff. And even if somebody offered the interpretation, they say, this is crazy, we can't follow this. Why not? Because it claims to be revelation. Revelation is absurd. We should follow projections. We should follow science. We should follow data. That's going to lead to a better life. Yes, it will. But when it is in line with revelation. And that's actually one of the goals of revelation. Is to, and what Yusuf alayhi salam asked them to do is such profound advice when we get to that it actually combines deen and dunya together. It combines them together. And that's yet another takeaway from these two ayat. Now, it's also important to note that think of the ministers that were in the court of the king. These are people that moved up in the ranks or from high elite families. These are people that are the highest educated in that society. These are the in a sense, they are the most influential people, right? And these are the brightest minds of the time. That's why they made it to the position that they are. You don't get by being dumb. You have to be something to get to that position, right? Now that they're in that position, they hear something and they place no value on it, right? And then that same statement is heard by the Prophet Yusuf, and he places profound value on it. They called it a jumbled up set of images it's a convoluted dream, really a nightmare, don't think about it. And on the flip side, Yusuf alayhi salam sees the future of an entire nation from the same exact statement, isn't it? I think universal that can be drawn for you and I is that sometimes in the secular world, in the outside of the Quran's worldview world, there are things that have no value. Things that are trivial, insignificant, they are not a big deal at all. And from the point of view of revelation, they may be extremely significant. In other words, people that see things from the lens of revelation will place value on things that people that don't see it from the lens of revelation will not see any value to the same things. The way we place value on something decides how much time we spend on it, how much attention it gets from us, what kind of time commitment, effort, focus, attention. All of it is decided by what's the value of something, right? So people value their job, so they'll get up early and go to work, right? You value exercise, you value eating well, you value your prayers, etc., etc. When you value something, you'll put time, effort, energy behind it. What I'm saying is the lens of revelation, the lens of Allah's word, makes you put value on different things. But if you don't have that lens, you may see the same thing and see absolutely no value. Isn't that the only difference between how Yusuf sees this and how they see it? He has revelation from Allah. He has revelation from Allah. So he can see something they can't see, isn't it? ذَلِكَ مَبْلَغُهُم مِّنَ الْعِلْمِ. That is the extent of their knowledge. That all they know is this world. وَلَمْ يُرِدْ إِلَّا الْحَيَاةَ الدُّنْيَا ذَلِكَ مَبْلَغُهُم مِّنَ الْعِلْمِ. He didn't want anything but worldly life. That's the extent of what they know, extent of knowledge. For us, before we place a value or consider something significant or insignificant, we have to learn to look at it under the proper light. And that's a really good analogy. I like that analogy a lot, the analogy of light. If you turn a red light on, whatever's around you will look red. You turn a green light on, everything will be tinted green. Turn a blue light on, everything will be tinted blue. In other words, the light with which you look at something has an effect on how it looks. Yes or no? The Quran itself is called light, isn't it? When you look at something from Quran, you look at something from Quran's lens, then it looks different than when you don't look at it from the Quran's lens.